It's November 9th, 2016, the day after the election, and it's been a long day. After going to work, I needed to go pick up my kids. My kids usually went over to my mom's house after school on the bus, and then I would pick them up or my husband would pick them up. On that day, I was picking them up. And I walked in and I greeted my mother, and her face, the look on her face told me that there was something wrong. Then she said to me, "I would like to talk to you." And we went into her office and she said to me, I had a very interesting conversation with Zia today. Zia being my 5-year-old daughter at the time. And I said, "Oh, okay." And she said, I asked her, "Do you know that we have a new president?" And Zia said, "Yes." And she said, and then I said, "Do you know who it is?" And Zia said, "Yes, it's Donald Trump." And she said, "I don't like him." And my mom said, "Really? Why not?" She said, "Because he's not nice, he's very mean, he's black." At that moment, my mom did not know. My mom said to my daughter, "You know that I am black, and that Papa is black, and that your mom is black?" And Zia said, "No, you're not. You're like me." Now, I want to pause here for a moment and say that when my mom told me this story, I felt some kind of way. I thought to myself, what am I doing wrong? Because I am the black partner in my relationship, my husband. I'm the one who's supposed to be teaching my kids about who they are and where they come from. And here it is, my daughter is saying these things. So I said to my mom, "Okay, I will talk to her." And I left with my daughter, not knowing exactly what to say to her. I let it pass until one day we're in the bathroom and I'm doing her hair, and I thought to myself, now, right now, today, this is a good time to share this information. So I said to my daughter, "Zia, do you know that Mommy is black?" And she said, "Oh." And I said, "Yes, and Grandma and Papa too." And she said, "Oh." And she says, "Am I black?" I said, "Yes, you're my daughter, so you're black." She thought for a moment and she says, "Mommy, what is black?" So here I am having a conversation with my 5-year-old daughter, thinking I'm going to teach her something, and she just schooled me. What is black? What is black? In her mind, black was bad. Black was someone who did bad things. Black was someone who wasn't kind to others before this conversation. And I honestly did not have a real answer for her. And I thought about it myself, and I didn't have a real answer for myself. How is it that we have taken on black when my daughter looks at us? She sees brown. She sees color. She sees people of color. And she does not associate herself as black at the time. And we do. When my daughter said that Donald Trump was black, She didn't associate it with race. She associated it with character. And so for her, his character, his heart, his soul was black. So we had conversation, but we were speaking to different things. To her, black equals bad. Well, here's my question. What is black? When did we decide that we were black? Did we decide we were black, or was that a label that was just thrust upon us because we were brown and because we were considered to be bad, and black was equal to bad, and we were dark, closer to black than anything else, and we were different, and different equals bad. So therefore, we are bad, we are black. We called black. It is one of these random questions that comes up when talking to a 5-year-old about not having the faintest idea of what the answer is. I did learn a few things from my daughter. One, the messages that are getting through are not favorable towards black. And number two, we spend a lot of our black lives countering messages that are given to us by no fault of our own early on. Was it my fault that my daughter didn't see us as black? Or was it society's fault that she saw black as something bad? And that ergo, later on, when she realizes that we are considered black, that it would be equal to negative. It's such a hard question. I don't know that I have the answer, but I do know this. That was one of the hardest conversations I've ever had with my daughter. To date, she's 9 years old now. We talk about a lot of things, but that conversation stood out to me because my insecurities with how I portray myself to her came through. And it didn't feel good. I don't want her to grow up and believe that black is bad, and then therefore when she becomes conscious that she is black, that therefore she is bad. What is that? At the end of the day, what I'm hoping is that when her 5-year-old mind can reconcile that she is black, or when she grows up and she realizes that she is black, that she will have gotten enough countering information to challenge the idea that black is bad. Now, I'd like to hear from you. What do you think is appropriate when it comes to teaching our children about race? Is it appropriate to label them, to have them be labeled, or should we allow them to develop their own character, to develop their own minds, and then when those labels that will come, they have the tools to counter what those labels that do come mean? I want to hear from you. Leave me a comment down below. It's a question that I've still pondered now that my daughter is 9, and I ponder that my son is 13 and he is finding his way in the world, and there are messages that I need to give him because he is a black young man that scare me, that bother me. So please share your thoughts below, and we will see you again